Hello and welcome to the Hotel News Now podcast. I'm Trevor Simpson. Today I'm joined by Rob Brandenberg, General Manager of the One Hotel Seattle. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here. Thank you for your time, Trevor.
No problem. So, exciting times for you as reservations for the One Hotel Seattle are now open, and the property itself will open its doors in April. What's your excitement level at right now?
Bursting. We had about 75 skilled craftsmen and women in the building. It's buzzing. It's changing every day now. We're sort of at the last leg, where sort of everything comes together. Um, yeah, a level of excitement. I've been in this building for now 6 years, and it started about 2 years ago. And it's, for the longest time, you just can't see it happening, and you have a lot of doubts. But with the brands behind it and the momentum that Starwood brings to the table, and the incredible support of the ownership, just everybody is so aligned on how this property is going to come out, and everyone wants it to be the best product, and it will be. It sort of gives you a, a calm balance to the craziness. So overall, super excited. Obviously nervous every time when you open a hotel. It's a very special, momentous event, and giving birth to something. But also with an amazing local team that we assembled here, makes it much easier. And we feel like we're up to the challenge.
Yeah. And so you have experience being the general manager of a property. You were the GM of the Pan Pacific Hotel since 2019. Have you been an opening general manager before?
This is the first time for me being an opening general manager. I've opened private membership club back a few years ago, and independent restaurants, but never actually a hotel. I've been renovated a hotel in the past,
Yeah.
quite uh, large scale, but nothing like this.
What's the experience been like for you?
Like everything you hope for. It's invigorating. It's educating. It's humbling, because there's so many things you just don't know, you can't know, and the know-how that the One Hotel and Star Hotel brings to the table is just it's just second to none, really.
Right.
That the focus on the design, on the detail, on the materials, is something that I've never experienced, and we know is very unique in this industry.
Yeah. So let's get into that a little bit more. So obviously the One Hotel's brand is centered around sustainability and wellness. Even the first tab on the One Hotel Seattle website is sleep. How does the One Hotel Seattle incorporate sustainability and wellness?
Uh, many ways. Starting on the design, the repurposed materials. We feel like we believe that everything is a second life, and nothing is really ever lost. And so we're trying to find materials that can be repurposed, for wood cladding, for stones, flagstone, tiles that are being put into the lobby. We got repurposed woods on the paneling outside in the hallways. We are having a lot of life edge furniture that just gives you, sense of calm, and this sort of translates this into a true sanctuary. Hardwood floors, in all the rooms and suites, and most of the public spaces. So there is that ruggedness, that you can see across the entire interior, all over the place. There is the nothing really is supposed to be perfect in materials, perfectly crafted, but you should feel the contrast when you walk, when you're standing in the shower, you're standing on pebble rocks, and that kind of gives you that a different sense of being. And it's just a complete different experience from the senses, all the senses, from the smells, from the music, for how the lighting is going to be set. It's just all kind of takes you in with that biophilic design that, yeah, it just gives you that sense of, I have arrived, and I don't want to go anywhere. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
So creating that environment here in Seattle that obviously is very embedded into nature and sustainability as a front runner has been for years compared to other metropolitan areas. It's just a perfect marriage. It's just two elements just found each other, and there's no it's no coincidence that in 2008 the first one hotel is supposed to actually been open here in Seattle,
Mm.
but then for obvious reasons that had to be postponed, and it took another 7 years until it then finally happened. So now it's happening here. We're going to be number 11 in the lineup, and sort of 17 years late to the party. But it's just going to be amazing how what the brand brings to the market. Hyper local here in South Lake Union, but also Seattle as a whole, as a metropolitan area, or the Pacific Northwest as a whole, is sort of has been waiting for something like this for years.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, this is going to be the 11th One Hotels property to open. There's another 9 properties in the pipeline. What's it like to be starting this journey with this growing brand?
It's sort of joining a really sort of an elite club of really neglected properties, right? What I find so fascinating about the One Hotels, they are very all aligned on the mission driven purpose that the brand brings, but at the same time there's a lot of individuality between the properties. You go to a Mayfair property and you visit San Francisco, West Hollywood, the East Coast properties, just in the Mark in New York, where you have Central Park and Brooklyn Bridge. They are so vastly different and amazing in their own ways, that to have that in today's market, where we all know that cookie cutter brands are just all over the place. It's just very refreshing to see that, and having that underlining core components that make One Hotels their own, with the activation, with some of the item services spoke of, with the biophilic design and the connectivity to wellness, the focus on sustainable food, sustainable beverage programs, and also kind of immersion you into, as a guest and as a team member, into activations to really do good and be part of the community. I feel like it is so special, and that really is that that underlying purpose that
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have lost in the industry, where we are too focused on profitability and profitability, productivity, and efficiencies, where we just lose that element of fun for being hospitable and creating these amazing spaces for guests and for our team members at the same time.
Yeah, and just providing that local feel, even though it's a brand that stretches across several different continents.
Yeah, exactly.
So the big news last week was SH Hotels and Resorts rebranding as Starwood Hotels. As someone with past experience at the old Starwood Hotels and Resorts, what is the significance of this rebrand?
Oh, this is a momentous question that I don't think I even have the bandwidth to answer. I mean, it's one of those moments where brought tears to my eyes because Starwood Hotels and Resorts back in the days was everything that I ever wanted to be part of. And then having stayed through the merger, that brought its own emotional sort of nuances to it, and now having seen how Bear Stearns just continued on being so focused on his passion in bringing these three brands alive. And specifically with one hotel, has just been always a joy to watch. And now, being in that second chapter, I think a lot of it will be different. I think a lot of it will be more purposeful. Quality over quantity is definitely something that attracts me now more than ever. Not just growing footprint and earnings per share at the forefront, but actually really purposely opening properties at the right destination with the attention to detail. That's what I'm definitely expecting and we think is where we're going to see in the years to come. And we don't know what's in stores for all of us in terms of size and future brands, but it will be amazing. That is for sure.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned earlier, you've been a general manager in Seattle over the past 6 years or so. And Seattle as a market was struggling a bit out of the pandemic, but as of late, it seems to have turned a corner. Why is now an exciting time to be opening a property in Seattle?
Very good question. I'm glad you're asking it. Seattle is an amazing market. It is just the locale as you know is so unique, and we're really proud to be part of this beautiful land over here and having all these vast resources around us. We were definitely one of the struggling properties on the West Coast for a very long time. We have gone through a lot of cycles of recovery and almost recovery, and I think it started about 2 years ago when we had a very responsible mayor and city council that started to really bring in a very business forward approach to how to really deal with the problems. And being on two different boards in the city with the destination marketing organization as well as with the Seattle Hotel Association, and I've seen a lot of efforts and a lot of successes that really have sort of propelled us forward as a city, coming out of the past chapters. And at the same time, you really have not seen a lot of exciting hotel product entering the market or transformations that really sort of put us on the map. And one of our main competitors is one of the finer properties in town and opened in 2008. And since then, really nothing really happened. The Pan Pacific opened in 2006 and was sort of at the forefront of the innovation curve with how the property was set up, originally built by Paul Allen and his team. And now having gotten now this chance to kind of reboot and again sprint at the front of the pack is incredible, and the opportunity is very unique. There's an incredible appetite in the city for a higher rated BT group business, but also leisure. And there's really not a lot of options. While I'm not saying that there's a very solid luxury market here in Seattle, never really had existed, compared to other metropolitan markets, even San Francisco, obviously, brand presence is definitely different than here. There is a reason for it, but there is at the same time still a lot of appetite. We hear it all over the place from group contacts and meeting planners that they are like, we need something new in the market. We're excited that one hotel is coming into Seattle, and I feel like we're going to be privileged to be drinking out of fire hose for just a little bit. While I don't think that 2025 is going to be, golden year, I think we're still in a ramp up phase as a
Right.
market. But I think 26 is going to, present a lot of opportunities and is promising a lot. We have, two FIFA events happening, one this year with the Club World Cup, which is a little bit of a smaller scale. And then obviously, the 26 Men's World Cup next year. So that definitely gives us a lot of confidence and momentum. There's a lot of investments in the city happening from, a lot of civic investments on the waterfront, the Lookout waterfront park that just opened. It was a $70 million investment. And as a whole, there's about 700 million invested into the waterfront park infrastructure, directing traffic into more of a pedestrian friendly setup. There is a massive cleanup going on of downtown Seattle. So it seems like all parties are just completely aligned and having this bring this collective effort into really moving everybody forwards. Plus,
Yeah.
having great DMO in the back with Visit Seattle that is doing a lot. Filling the conference centers. We got a brand new one that is just 5 blocks away from where the One Hotel is located. So that will also give us additional opportunity to be part of not just the citywide compressions, but a little bit more closer to the hotel for smaller events, overflow blocks that we haven't really been able to compete because of the proximity to the original convention center. So that's another great opportunity that I see really giving us a lot of momentum. And it's just a buzz around the brand, and it's just like that, almost too perfect brand and city and nature inspired or nature inspired location is just a great. It's just the symmetry right now is just amazing that everything has kind of come together. And yeah, kind of going back to the question a little bit differently, the market really hasn't seen really anything kind of being added to it. And I feel like it is going to be exciting to see how investors are going to react to the One Hotel stepping into the Seattle market and really bringing that new feel into town, not having just legacy brands and selected service brands in town, but having an upper upscale, sustainable luxury brand in the market. Just I think it's going to tickle a lot of people, and it's going to create hopefully more arrivals that increase the pool of competitors, which is super important, right?
Yeah. I have a buddy who lives out in Seattle, so I've had the chance to visit a few times over the past few years, and it really is a beautiful city.
Have you been most recently?
The last time I was in Seattle was this past July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our summers are absolutely magnificent.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, well, we love our drizzle. 150 days a year. The summers, it's just amazing. Nobody leaves town in the summertime. Everybody's just like, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. This is so beautiful here. And I mean, we got, all the bodies of water, right? Fresh water and salt water. The Puget Sound, 130 miles all the way through the open ocean. We got rainforests. We got mountain ranges on 3 sides, which is just absolutely, blows my mind. I'm from Switzerland, so to impress me with the landscape is quite hard. And this is really that part of the country that really does it for me.
There you go. All right, Rob. Those were all the questions that I had prepared for you. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
maybe a little bit more into the neighborhood. I think it's important to kind of quickly cover that, in my opinion, if
Yeah.
we may have time.
Yeah, go for it.
The hotel is located in South Lake Union, which is north of the Central Business District, and we have seen over the last 3 years or after pandemic, kind of like a gradual shift north of investments, openings, restaurant bars, biotech, and that mixed use urban center setup here in South Lake Union is really kind of benefiting the hotel as well, really strongly, because the restaurant concept that we're putting together, La Loba, which is another component really that we have not really had for a while here in this neighborhood, where you have celebrated chef Oscar Armando Ido is spearheading that from Barcelona with his team. That excitement bring in the culinary aspect into a neighborhood like South Lake Union, where you have thousands of rental apartments, and this is actually something that has been increasing over the last since 2015. I mean, we have never seen as many occupied apartments in South Lake Union or in Seattle as a whole that we have seen. I mean, it's like a 26% increase even to 2019. So we've seen a lot of people coming back into downtown. Also, the 5 days a week, working in the office by, Amazon and other companies obviously helped a lot to kind of have people migrate back into the center. But we have that benefit of having all these residential and commercial buildings just in walking distance of the hotel. So having a great F&B concept with an amazing food and beverage program and activations, and being, just right in the dead center of it all, is just super excited. And that's another thing that I think is sort of important to mention, because the neighborhoods here in Seattle did get a beating in the past years, and we definitely have seen their pride returning into where Seattleites live, and everybody wants downtown to be activated again and sprawling. And I feel in South Lake Union is definitely at the forefront of it. It's buzzing definitely a little bit more. We couldn't be better located. So that's maybe not another component that is I think important to mention for people that maybe don't quite understand Seattle as a whole. I know you've been here. Other than that, I think we covered it.
Well, hey, you have exciting times to come. I appreciate you joining the podcast, and good luck with the opening next month.
Thank you, Trevor. Appreciate it. I can't wait to welcome you over here in One Hotel Seattle once you return.
That'd be great. Awesome.
All right. Okay. You be good.
Hi, I'm STR's Isaac Colazo.
And I'm co-stars Jan Freitag. And together we are the data geeks behind Tell Me More, a hospitality data podcast on the Hotel News Now podcast network.
Every month, we bring you a fresh take on the latest hotel data, insights into the travel trends behind that performance, and the big picture topics you should be thinking about.
And we also don't mind getting into some good-natured disagreement from time to time. Hey, when Isaac and I start talking data together, anything can happen. And it usually does.
Find us on hotelnewsnow.com and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen. Search for Hotel News Now, and thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. This episode of the Hotel News Now podcast was recorded on March 11th, 2025, and edited by Trevor Simpson. Go to hotelnewsnow.com every day for the latest hotel industry news.